jumping into a helicopter now, we'll get a sense of the scale of the island. Beautifully detailed pilot models, the interior of the cockpit, everything you come to expect from Arma 3, an enormous military sandbox. Avoiding the trees and heading down the valley, we've got a lightly armored truck which will try to engage us, and we've got some rockets on board and some machine guns to take it down with. I think clouds really come into their own when we're in the air. It gives us a real sense of the 3D space. They'll occlude the sun. We can go above these in a jet fighter, plunge down, take out a tank, go back up again. Really, again, the freedom to fight however you like. Great shot, Ivan. So again, some meaty weapons, some good sounds, and some varied gameplay. A lot of our health and damage systems are still prototype, but what we really want to achieve is feeding back to the player when he's been injured, when he'll have to find a medic, when he'll have to apply some bandages to himself. Again, we'll have more details about our health system after E3, but for now, maybe if we jump to a different showcase, we can see more of our game. Check out the new lighting and how that impacts gameplay. Another funny thing that we found when we released our lighting showcase was people complaining that the night was too bright. Well, this is actually a full moon night, which is why it's as light as it is. If we're at a different time in the month, it'll be a little darker. And really, it's about the player. When does he want to set up his mission for? What kind of experience does he want to have? Night vision goggles are improved with the enhancements to HDR, and a few little touches like the NVGs being on the helmet or in front of your eyes. Lights are another cool addition to the weapons, and along with the muzzle flashes. Okay, let's take a look at the inventory system now. We've got a backpack here. This can carry gear. It has a certain weight. The weight will encumber you. The more gear you're carrying, the less you can run, the more you'll become fatigued. We just saw Ivan there switch out a light for an IR pointer. Again, this offers tactical options. I can point out targets to my buddies, but if the enemy have NVGs on as well, they're going to be able to see that too. So taking the scope off now, we go in iron sights, and you can see how you can customize your weapon and fight how you want to. Again, those are the muzzle flashes I was talking about, and again, it's an improvement to the graphics. It looks good, but it's also something that you can think about in terms of the battlefield itself. If I can see an enemy, he doesn't have a muzzle suppressor on his weapon, then it's going to be a lot easier to target him. The same is true for me too. Again, switching the optics back on now. So the interface here is prototype, but what we really want to try and express is the systems underlying it, what you can do to your weapon, how these things will affect you on the battlefield. Chem lights, obviously one of Ivan and I's favorite new innovations, add a little bit of color to the night. And we can walk around, maybe we can take a look at the tactical pace, which we've alluded to before, a little faster than walking, a little slower than running, and really improving combat in these sort of tight situations. A lot of things to tweak. We want to get some feedback. How do these things impact upon the clans? How does it work in multiplayer? Is it satisfying everyone? When we roll this out with the community alpha, we can gather that kind of feedback. So let's jump into the heart of what Arma's really all about, some infantry combat. Hopefully we can take a look at the animations at work now. Ivan will take some cover, dive out, put a few shots down range. And also, although sometimes it can be a little bit tricky, we'll see what kind of improvements we've made to the AI. Now, we've got a great cooperation with our community, and the kind of patches we've been putting out for Operation Arrowhead, supporting it, making improvements to the AI. These are the kind of things that'll find their way into Arma 3. If we can talk about DayZ for a second, we can talk about merging improvements to the multiplayer framework into Arma 3. I know some guys are really happy to have DayZ and a lot of the coverage that we get from it. Others are not quite so sure about this non-serious game mode. The way I like to see it is all of the improvements being made to support the stability of the multiplayer framework, the epic persistent worlds and the potential that has. If that finds its way into Arma 3, that benefits everyone. one of the founders of Bohemia Interactive, Andre Spaniel. He hasn't been working so much on Arma 3. He's doing his own research projects, trying to improve things like mod loading, but Daisy has actually inspired him to get back into the engine, go down deep into the code, and find ways to make improvements that really benefit everyone. And it's great to see the whole team having something to be excited about, and a lot of new guys coming in and seeing what Arma's all about. Mr. Bukta, I can't believe it. Okay. So, back to Cam Maxwell now. I think we're about ready to wrap things up. Hopefully that's given you some new information, shown you some of the new details that we'd like to talk about. After E3, once things have calmed down a little bit, we'll have much more information about the community alpha, how to access that, what we want to achieve from it. You can keep up to date with us on arma3.com and every day on the social channels, Facebook, Twitter, and YouTube. Well, so from me, Jay Crow, and from purveyor of Pilsner, lover of landscapes, Ivan Bukta, we'd like to thank you for joining us and hope to see you soon.